Yeah, good morning. So we are seeing good bounce back across different market. Post Fed meeting, the bond yield came off sharply over there in US. Uh, the bond yield, which was hovering around 4.98 in last 2 days, has come off to 4.65 now. That has acted quite positive for emerging market, where the money was earlier withdrawn from the market, now is getting some bounce back. Uh, Apart from that, if we talk about commodity, oil, which was coming off, has shown reverse trend and now again up by around $1.5 today. And other commodities are also showing positive trend. Iron ore is up by around 1% and steel is up by around 1%. Today, we will be having unemployment data in the US today evening, and one need to be watchful of that. The unemployment rate is expected flat at around 3.8%. Last month also 3.88%, and main is non-farm payroll additions, which are expected at 1,86,000, and last month it was 3,36,000. So one need to be watchful of that. Apart from that, after market hour in the US, Apple came up with the results, though the results was above expectations, but the future guidance were poor. And as such, after market, Apple is down by around 3.5%, and Apple has very large weight in both S&P and even Nasdaq. So that will have a negative impact on the US market today evening. So one need to be watchful of that also. So overall seems a positive day. We are likely to open gap up and may stay higher uh, in today's trade. And I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. See, yesterday we saw that some recovery, and today we also expect the gap up open, and we expect market trading the positive side only. Next immediate resistance place around 19 to 40 200. If Nifty managed to close weekly close around 19 to 40, then we expect towards Diwali, Nifty trading towards 19 500, 19 400 and upside. Downside immediate support place around 19,060 and 19,000 is a major support for Nifty. We expect some positive momentum to be continuing to this session. Bank Nifty also yesterday closed above the important level, and we expect some positive momentum to be continuing banking stock also and Bank Nifty also. Next immediate intraday resistance place around 43, 590 and 600. Above that range, we expect this momentum to be continued towards 44,170, 200 in upside. Downside 43,000 is the first immediate support for Bank Nifty. The both index trading above the important resistance level, and we expect some positive momentum in both index. And Nifty also looks positive at current level. First immediate resistance place 19,500. Above that, 19,640 is the next resistance for Nifty. Immediate support place around 19,400, 19,320 at downside. So all three index looks positive at current level. To expect some positive moment to be continuing this all three. Stock Pacific NMDC looks positive. We already given call in NMDC. So we expect some positive momentum to be continued towards 168, 1670. Support place around 154. Second, Godrej property also looks positive. Yesterday closed above the 1700. We expect this momentum to be continue towards 1770, 1719 upside. Downside support place around 1670, 1660 at downside. So these two stock in positive side. Negative side, LIC Finance. Looks weak at current level. We saw that yesterday some pressure in LIC Finance to this pressure to be continue. Downside next immediate support place around 440. Below 440, then we expect some pressure increase in LIC finance. Upside resistance place 460. That's it for technical derivative I can carry.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So on the derivatives front, as I mentioned yesterday, that if Nifty manages to get a step closing above 19,100 level, then we will see major corner positions to get shifted on the upper and at the near ATM strike. Colorado is likely to get liquidated. Another positive factor which took place in yesterday's session is at 19,100 strike, there was a healthy put writer positions which got added on, which was almost around 25 million position of put writer got added at 19,100 strike. So these are major positions, and we expect this to be the major support for the market for coming trading sessions between 19,100 to 19,000 strike. So for in today's trading session, we are seeing that the next resistance for Nifty is at 19,300 level, and Nifty is likely to open above that level while Nifty is opening on a gap up note. So in today's weekly closing, which would be the important level for the closing, would be 19,300 level. Once if Nifty manages to get closing of 19,300 level in today's trading session, then for the next week we might expect the range to be extended towards 19,500 to 19,600 level in coming trading sessions. So overall view seems to be on the positive front, while India VIX also decreased by 8% in yesterday trading session. So India VIX is continuously trading in the range of 10 to 12 in from past 2 to 3 months, and we expect that. Range it to be positive in coming trading session. Once if India VIX goes about 13.5, then only there might be some volatility or cautious momentum in the market. So hold a long position with the support of 19,100 to 19,000 range in a lower end. While on the stock specific and sector specific front, the counter which looks positive in today's trading session would be Alchem, IOC, and Lupin looks positive in today's trading session. While short covering rally, which we might expect will be coming for today's session, would be from Britannia and Maruti. So these five counter looks positive in today's trading session. That's it from the derivative front. Thank you.
Good morning. On the result side, Cholamandalam Investment and Finance result is in line with expectation. Loan book grew by 42% year-on-year, 8% sequentially, and even disbursement growth was strong at 47% year-on-year. So we are likely to see this strong growth of almost 30% plus, going into future as well. NIM was stable at 7.4%. We have seen that many of the other NBFCs have been impacted on the NIM side, but that's not the case with Chola. And even asset quality has improved slightly, with net NPA declining by 20 basis points to 2.6%. So we remain positive, and stock can do decently. Karnataka Bank result has declined due to decline in NIM and lower non-interest income. Advances have shown decent acceleration. On a sequential basis, they were up almost 6%, and year-on-year basis 9%. Bank expects growth to year-on-year growth to reach 17-18% by the end of March quarter. However, NIM declined by 10 basis points during the quarter, and other income was much softer, which led to fall in sequential profits of the bank. Asset quality was stable. Credit cost also remains below 1% at just 0.7%. So there is comfort on asset quality. We think this quarter was a temporary softness because of lower other income. And going forward, once the loan growth accelerates, we think that stock can again provide a decent entry opportunity if it corrects further. So we are neutral from near-term point of view, but positive from long-term. Aptus Value Housing Finance result is marginally above expectation. Loan book grew 28% year-on-year, 7% sequentially. Profits grew 20% year-on-year and 4% sequentially. So profits have grown slightly lower than loan book. That is mainly because of slightly higher OPEX. Asset quality improved with net NPA declining 10 basis points to 0.9%. We remain positive on Aptus. IRFC, PSU, NBFC into railways. All the P&L line items were flat on sequential basis. Loan book growth was at 6% year-on-year, which seems low as if we look at the stock valuation at 2 times price to book. So in relation to that, we think that stock can remain sideways from here on. One new IPO will be opening today, ESAF Small Finance Bank, and it will be closing on Tuesday, 7th November. We have given subscribe rating. Issue size is 463 crores, out of which fresh issue is 391 crore and OFS is 72 crores. ESAF's business is very similar to that of other small finance banks like Ujjivan, Utkarsh, Suryoday, whereby 75% of loan book comprises of micro loans and balance is made up of gold loans, auto loans, housing, LAP, SME, NBFC loans. Loan book stands at 13,500 crores and it grew by 20% in FY23. Focus is mainly on South India, which forms 62% of the loan book, and majorly Kerala, which is like 43 odd percent of the loan book. In FY23, bank posted ROA of 1.6% and ROE of 19%. Further, if you look at Q1 and annualize it, ROA has improved to 2.4% and ROE to 29%. Its valuation on price to book basis is at a discount to compared to peers. We are getting this bank at 1.5 times FY23 post issue book value, whereas peers like Ujjivan, Utkarsh, etc. are trading at 2 times and above. So we think that this bank will offer decent listing gains on. So one can subscribe to this IPO. Thank you.
Good morning. Yesterday, Berger Pens posted the result broadly in line with expectations. Revenue grew by 3.6% on a YY basis, and volume growth was witnessed at 10.9%. Gross margin grew by 580 basis points on a YY basis at 41.1%. And thus EBITDA margin grew by 350 basis points. This was on account of higher margin, but it was partially offset by higher employee cost and higher other expenses. The company is guiding FY24 operating margin at 16 to 17%, and the company added 2,000 plus retail touch points and installed 1,700 plus color bank machines in Q2. The company has maintained double-digit growth guidance for Q3 FY24. The stock is trading at a PE of 51 times to FY24 EPS, and it looks fairly valued in the near term with limited upside. Dabur India Limited result was broadly in line with expectations. Revenue grew by 7.3% on a YY basis, where it observed 3% volume growth, and domestic business grew by 3%, and international business grew by 10.4% on a YY basis, where in CC terms the growth was at 23.6%. Healthcare segment has seen 5.4% growth. Home and personal care segment grew by 5.8%, and food and beverages segment declined by 7.1%. The EBITDA margin reported at 20.6%, where the management has guided for around 19.5% of FY24 operating margin. The stock is trading at a PE of 47 times to FY24 EPS, and the outlook is positive. Clean Science and Technology Limited posted the result below expectations. Revenue degrew by 26.8% on a YY basis, and EBITDA margin reported at 41.3% versus the expectation of 40.9%. The stock is trading at 49.8 times to FY24 EPS, and outlook is neutral. Tattva Chintan Pharmachem Limited posted the result, and result was okay. Revenue grew by 7.3% on a YY basis. This was on account of partial recovery in SDS segment and significant decline in the rest of the segments where PTCs impacted the most during the quarter. EBITDA margin reported at 20.9% versus 12.4% in the corresponding quarter, same last year. The power and fuel cost have gone up 50% on a YY basis, and the stock is trading at a PE of 48.5 times to FY24 EPS. The outlook is near to negative over the near term, but positive. We need to monitor the growth of SDAs and other segments also. Britannia Industries Limited had hosted the con call yesterday. The management highlighted the flat volume growth for the quarter, and there was expansion in gross margin with the cost savings of 8 to 10%. That has resulted in the EBITDA margin at 19.7% versus the expectation of 17.9%. It has seen the strategic pricing corrections of 1.5% in some key brands and SKUs during the quarter. And it has highlighted that it is a strong urban company and has predominantly urban distributed. So the slowdown in rural has been countered with the urban growth. And the outlook, in terms of outlook, it has started with the bakery and dairy space, where dairy is becoming a big play for Britannia and would like to explore more on that front. Also, it will continue to invest in brands and innovation, and will see to bring down the cost as a strategic pillar. And the pricing corrections will be done wherever necessary. So we are positive on the stock. Thank you.
Good morning. Tata Motors result came out and the overall revenue came at 1,05,128 crores, which grew by 2.8% on QOQ basis with an EBITDA margin of 13.7%. It saw significant growth, which was driven by a combination of volume, product mix, and price. It was also noted that there was temporary blip in Q2 due to summer shutdown at JLR unit. The company has implemented a price increase on October 1, reflecting the anticipation of commodity headwinds, especially from steel, which is expected to impact Q3 FY24. On JLR side, it has changed its earning before interest and tax guidance from previous 6% plus to around 8%. And the key vehicle models like Range Rover Sport, and Defender, which make up a significant 77% of current orders. And it is about to introduce an additional body shop for modular longitudinal architectural vehicles. This expansion is expected to increase production numbers in coming quarters. And the stock is trading at PE of 14.1 times of FY24 EPS, and we are positive on this stock. Minda Corp also posted its result, and result has improved, where revenue came at 1,195 crores, which grew by 11.3% on QOQ and 4.3% on YOY basis. The domestic demand, premiumization, and increased business share with key customers drove the growth. EBITDA margin came at 11% versus 10.7% on QOQ basis. This margin improvement came because of efficiency, cost reduction, and softening of commodity prices. According to the management, the demand is expected to sustain with recovery in two-wheelers, strong order booking in PV side, longer CV cycle, and festive season demand. The stock is trading at PE of 28.9 times of FY24 EPS, and we are positive in long term. Hero MotoCorp had its con call yesterday, where revenue came at 9,444 crores, and the EBITDA margin increased by 30 basis points on QOQ basis. According to the management, the target margin range for the company is 14 to 16%. And this time in this quarter, it saw that successful efforts to revive the 125cc plus segment with X-Tech range, particularly the Super Splendor X-Tech, and it further plans there are ongoing plans to enhance the product mix with additional premium models in FY24. On EV side, a volume scale up in EV segment is expected in next 4 to 6 quarters. It has also expanded Vida's store presence to 100 cities by 100 cities, and the stock is trading at 16.1 times of FY24 EPS, and we are positive in long term. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, Suzlon came up with the number yesterday. The quarter-on-quarter number has shown improvement, though the revenue increase was nominal at 5%, but EBITDA margin has seen further expansion. EBITDA margin has come at 15.8% versus last quarter 15.3 and last year 14.5%. Major restructuring was done in the debt, and now the company is net debt free, and has company has reported good profit. The key thing is to watch is that the order book has further increased, and the order book now is at around 1,600 megawatt against last quarter 1,400 megawatt. These are long cycle bit order, and as such, and second half is generally very heavy in executions than in the first half. Generally, the first half contribution to the revenue is 35% and second half is 65%. So the expectation for the second half result is quite optimistic, and the order book which is there at around 1,600 megawatt will get partially executed in the current year and the balance in the next year. So next year again we'll see a jump up in the revenue as the execution of all these order will come up. So overall outlook seems quite positive from here, though the prices has moved up sharply in last quarter. So the valuations has become bit costly, but the outlook continue to remain positive as company will report better results in next consistently next few quarters. Apart from this, Tata Steel had a con call yesterday, and the only thing difference which was there in the con call was that company had said that the coking coal cost for the next quarter will be around $10, which we were expecting bit higher. That is mainly because the company has a low cost inventory and which will be used in this quarter. But the overall directions wise, the coking coal cost from the last quarter has increased by almost around $80 to $100. So that will get reflected not in the Q3 then the Q4. And the prices, steel prices had seen some corrections in the recent past. So that will have another negative impact. So the prices, selling prices are coming off, and the cost is moving up. So though the Q3 may not be having any major impact on the profitability, but Q4 definitely will have some impact of these increase in cost and decline in prices. So the outlook for Tata Steel company continue to remain neutral to negative. Then another small company, Tilaknagar Industry, has come up with a strong number. They are into the rum segment and operating mainly in the South India. The revenue has grown by almost around 29% year on year, and EBITDA has increased by almost around 50% year on year. EBITDA margin has further improved to 13.4% from last quarter 12.5% and last year 11.4%. So here again the outlook is positive. The stock has performed in the recent past, but what we see that it can further move up. That's all from us, and I'll request commodity team to take up from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. In today's session, we are expecting some pullback in gold around 61,100 to 61,200. So buying with the stop loss of 60,650 is recommended, and silver pricing are supportive at 70,700, and as long as it is holding, one can buy for a pullback till 72,000. Crude oil, we are witnessing some positive momentum as prices are closing above the resistance support area of 6850. So buying around 6850 and strictly trade with a stop loss of 6780. On upside again, it can touch 6970 to 7000. Then again, profit taking is expected. In natural gas also, prices are expected to test 305, 310 levels. So buying around 190 is recommended with a stop loss of 290 is recommended with a stop loss of 280. Copper, we are expecting some positive momentum. If prices are sustaining above 712, then we are expecting 718 to 720 levels. So buying momentum should continue in copper. Zinc also prices are expected to dash 224 to 25 levels. So buying with a stop loss of 220 is recommended. That's it from me. I'll ask Utkarsh to take the call forward.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. For today's trading session in USD and we are expecting range bound movements. So, if prices break the level of 83.24 levels, so one can initiate a short positions with a strict stop loss of 83.34 levels for the target of 83.19 levels and 83.15 levels. In GBP INR, one can initiate a long positions in the range of 101.53 levels with a stop loss of 101.26 levels for the target of 101.84 levels and 102 levels. In Euro INR, one can initiate a long positions in the range of 88.52 to 88.46 levels with a stop loss of 88.29 levels for the target of 88.80 and 88.95 levels. Thank you.